guys, we made it. We are halfway through the year and I'm so excited to do this mid-year tag, this book tag, whatever you want to call it. So fun. I always love doing these. So let's go ahead and get into it. We have a ton of questions to go through and I promise this time we've got a different book for pretty much every category.
Also, shout out to this good hair day. Hey!
So the first question starts off with the best book that I have read so far. I had quite a few that I wanted to give a shout out to, but I think we're just gonna narrow it down to the book that not only did I give it 5 stars, but I was so pleasantly surprised by it. It just kind of knocked my socks off and deserves to be talked about. Deserves this spot, if you will. And that is Beach Read by Emily Henry. I made a fully dedicated video to this book on why, like just on my reading experience in general with this book, but it had all of the qualities of a romance book that I was looking for. But the best thing about this was the writing. I was so happy with Emily Henry's writing style. I think that anyone can enjoy her books, anyone could enjoy her writing, whether you're a fan of romance or not. It's good. I think it's really good. The characters were fantastic. I loved the romance. I liked the friendships. I liked the setting. Just the uniqueness, the originality of the storyline in itself was all really great. It was an easy 5 stars for me, so I think it deserved a spot. Also, it just got really dark. It's been raining, so sorry if
now it looks like I'm in a dungeon.
Best sequel I've read so far in 2023. I'm gonna say any of the Shatter Me books. I think book 2 was technically Unravel Me, but any of the sequels in the Shatter Me series were
phenomenal.
As we dive deeper into the Shatter Me series and we learn about the complexity of the government and the world that Juliet lives in and her powers and the love triangle, Aaron Warner, all of that. I just loved it more and more as each book progressed. It just got better and better and better. That was probably my favorite series of the year so far. So Unraveled Me. New release I haven't read yet, but I want to. That will be Crimson River by Devny Perry. This is her newest book in the Eden series. It literally just released maybe a week ago. Really excited about this one because the ending to, I think it's Garnet Flats, kind of is where the story takes place with Crimson River and Lila's story. So we have a girl, she owns a bake shop in this town in Montana. It's all about her siblings, the series, and this book is about her specifically. She takes a little sabbatical from work, and while she's on a hike, she meets this guy that attacks her, and this law enforcement guy from another town comes in to investigate, and I think it's her story with the investigator. So it sounded really interesting. It's got a little mystery tied in with this small town romance, which sounds so fun. And I really like Devny Perry's writing. I like the small town romance vibes, so I'm excited. Next question is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Without a doubt, this is A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber. I have been waiting since I finished The Ballad of Never After. I've been waiting for this book. I've been following her nonstop. Every story, every Instagram post, any mention of book 3, I've just been gobbling up because I cannot wait for this book to release. I already have a notification for Owl Crate because I want the special edition that Owl Crate is doing with Stephanie Garber for this book, and yeah, this is gonna be the best book of the year, hands down. You won't be hearing from me when that book releases because I will just be annotating, highlighting, reading and rereading and rereading again because I am so excited for how this story is going to end, and I know we're going to get more content with Jax in book 3. A Curse for True Love is going to be the epitome of YA fantasy wrap-ups.
I'm so excited for it.
Next question is biggest surprise. And honestly, this question was really easy for me to answer. That was The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. This has gotten a lot of hype, and I think it's worth the hype. One, This is I found this book on Kindle Unlimited, so it's one of those KU fantasy romance books, all the usual tropes you typically see in a fantasy romance, but the storyline was really good in Carissa Broadbent's world building. She did a great job with it. Her character development was really good. I enjoyed the fight scenes, the battle scenes, the mystery behind Oraya's like upbringing and her issues as a human growing up in this fantasy world. It just made it really fun to read, and the sequel I just read as well and I also enjoyed. So honestly, I was really surprised that I was gonna like it this much because I haven't had really great successes with reading KU fantasy books. So this one ticked all of the boxes for me. And yeah, favorite new author, either debut or new to me. So these are both new to me authors, Sarah Adams and Emily Henry. I actually really enjoyed both of their writing styles. Although they're both contemporary romance. Sarah Adams, the book that I've read so far, When in Rome, was a small town romance in Kentucky, and Emily Henry has written more of like a summary romance type of book in Beach Read. Those are the only two books I've read by these people, but I was so pleasantly surprised that I wanted to give them a shout out because I didn't think I would like either of them at all. I have not had really great luck with contemporary romance authors. Both of their writing styles are not really cheesy. The stuff that's in there I think was well done. The tropes, the book tropes that are in there with romance, whether it's enemies to lovers or grumpy sunshine, that kind of thing, forced proximity, all of those. I think that they just did a really great job doing those tropes, and I can't wait to read more from them. So I'm really happy with my discovery of these authors. My newest fictional crush has to be, I always think this question is so funny. Wendell Bambleby from An Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett was definitely it for me, I think, for this year. Normally, I think I would just say Jax from the Ballad of Never After, Once Upon a Broken Heart series, but Wendell Bambleby's character was so funny, like his banter. Every time we got a bit of his dialogue, I found myself giggling, laughing, smiling, blushing. He was just so funny. And I'm really excited for book 2. I know that this is going to be a series, and I'm excited to get more content from him. I found him to be so funny, even though we're in the point of view of Emily Wilde for most of the book. We get her perception of Wendell. He does have moments in the book where he's writing as well, and I loved it. Yeah, I just feel like he was really quirky. He's like a professor, so he's kind of nerdy, but also mysterious, and he has that fairy element that we all know and love, and yeah. The next question is a book that made me cry. This is gonna sound really weird, but A Sky Beyond the Storm by Sabaa Tahir from the Ember and the Ashes series really just threw me for a loop. This is the last book in the Ember and the Ashes series, and I kid you not, I was like sobbing the last couple chapters in this book. Like, I was not okay. I was not okay with the ending.
I'm still not okay with the ending.
Even though I understood it, a lot of things that happen in the last book. This entire series in general was very emotional. I didn't think a fantasy book could do that to somebody. It did that to me. It was heartbreaking. It was beautiful, and it made me very angry at times. And I think all of those emotions compounding one after another just left me in a pile of tears, but in the best way. I really enjoyed this series. Actually, I think this is the only book this year that I read that had made me cry. So now a book that made me happy was The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. This book, I think I just read it at the perfect time. I was looking for something that was easy to read and breezy. I listened to this every single morning for a week during my walks, and it was so fun to listen to in the morning on my walks. It was lighthearted, it was funny, I was laughing. It checked all the boxes for me for a contemporary romance. Christina Lauren's writing really, really nice in my opinion. I loved all of Olive and Ethan, I think that was their names. They had great banter. I liked their friendship, and I liked their relationship with Olive and her sister. I just think that it was a great book to just make you feel really happy without too much drama. There wasn't really high stakes. I feel like the circumstances were kind of ridiculous, but that made it extra fun to read about, and it could make for a really great rom-com. The most beautiful book I bought this year, I actually just got it a couple of days ago. I know I already have way too many versions of this book, but listen to me when I tell you that this book bewitched me body and soul. This is a copy of Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. It has laser cut edges all along the dust jacket in the front and the back. It's stunning. Here is a little view of the back. And then we also have quotes from the book put in like these really pretty pages within the book. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I hope it's focusing, but yeah, I found this to be so pretty. The edges are sprayed this really light dusty sky blue, and this is my favorite book ever. I love Pride and Prejudice. I've read this so many times, at least 10 times in my life I have read this book. And like I said, I think this is my 4th or 5th copy. So I'm really happy that I have this version. This is by Harper Muse Classics, and I got this at a local bookshop. I'm so happy. I'm treasuring this forever. I'm never going to remove this little jacket. It's so pretty. I love it. And it's just something really nice. I think if you have a favorite book, you should find the prettiest copy you can get of it and have it in your shelves to display and fawn over and love and obsess over. And yeah, I'm so happy I have this. I'm so happy I found it. It just brings me a lot of joy, and I actually can't wait to read this, read from this specific book version. And then the last question on this mid-year book tag is, what books do I need to read by the end of the year? I have quite a bit of books that I want to read by the end of the year, so this is kind of a hard question for me, but if I had to go by 2 that are going to be upcoming releases, it would be Gold by Raven Kennedy and A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber. Gold is book 5 in the Plated Prisoner series. This is a King Midas reimagining. And then we have A Curse for True Love, which is book 3 in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. And this is going to be just like a whimsical YA fantasy book with hunting for true love, I guess, without giving you the context of a bunch of plot stuff, and making this a book rec video. I think that those are just the 2 that I'm really looking forward to because I enjoyed those series so much. I can't wait to read them so I can like vlog myself reading them, annotate them, give you my feedback, make a full plot summary on these book series. I do plan on doing that with the book series once they're completed, so I'm really excited to read both of these for so many reasons, but those are the ones that I came up with. Even though I have so many on my shelves that I want to get through by the end of the year, those are just the 2 that take the top spot. That's it. Those are my mid-year book tag books. Let me know what you think of these. If you've read any of them, if you like them, let me know in the comments. And I had so much fun doing this. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, I will catch you in my next video. Mwah. Bye!